Hi everyone! How to calm anxiety quickly by dealing with the root cause. In this video, I'm going to share with you some ideas. There are so many practical ways to calm anxiety quickly. This includes meditation, having a relaxing bath, mindfulness, exercise, having a massage, journaling, talking with someone, and many others. Now, they are all great to do, but they only deal with the symptoms, not the root mental cause. As I said, in this video, I'm gonna cover a few ways on how to calm anxiety quickly by dealing with the root cause. So, let's begin. The first thing that you need to do is to stop thinking and imagining that things could go wrong. To be anxious, you have to imagine or think about something in the future going badly. If you think that it will go well or okay, then you will not feel anxious, right? Probably you will feel a little more confident. I want you to take some time and look back on past events or things that you were anxious about. And think, how did they actually turn? My guess is probably okay. Now, I want you to think about something that you are anxious about in the future. Based on the previous events, how do you think it will turn out? Probably okay as well. When you feel anxious, notice what you are imagining or saying to yourself. And then ask yourself, is this thinking or imagining going to help me to feel better, more confident, calmer? Questioning it is powerful because it gets your mind to focus on the solutions instead of staying stuck with worry, with fears. Imagine going 45 minutes into whatever that you are worried, nervous about. Just try for 5 minutes. Imagine that what you are worried, what you are fearing is happening. When you do this exercise, I want you to notice how you feel. So, another thing, as I said, is to ask yourself questions about what you are worried or afraid. Ask yourself, how likely is the worst case scenario to happen? If the worst case scenario is quite likely to happen, then ask yourself, what can I do? And make plans to deal with. So you feel calmer, you feel more relaxed. If it is highly unlikely to happen, then it's much better to stop focusing on it and focus on something else instead. Did you know that 95% of what we are afraid, what we worry about, never happens? If you don't believe me, try and think of 3 or 4 worries, fears you had and didn't happen. You need to have this distinction in your mind as to what is probably likely to happen and what is possible but unlikely to happen. And then remember that 95% of our worries never happen. Another thing is to separate anxiety from your sense of identity. Have you ever heard someone saying, I'm an anxious person? Or have you ever said this to yourself? I'm an anxious person, or I'm always anxious. If that is you, then I want you to stop doing this. I want you to remember that anxiety is not you. Anxiety is something you do. It's not something who you are. Because anxiety is a feeling. It's not part of your identity. It's not you. Remind to your brain that anxiety is something you do, not something you are. When feeling anxious, stop and think about all the other things that you are beside an anxious person. Perhaps you are a parent. You are a great coach. You are animal lover. You are a teacher. See if you can list 10 other things you also are. And think of anxiety as a feeling rather than part of who you are. Rather than saying, I am anxious, say, I feel anxious or I am feeling anxious. And the last idea is to stop overthinking. It is hard to be anxious if you don't overthink things. They go hand in hand. And overthinking doesn't need to be negative, it can be planning. However, if you keep thinking on the same thing over and over and over again, you are going to feel anxious. This is something that I had experienced. Now, how do you know when you are thinking but not overthinking? A useful amount of thinking will normally lead you to take a decision, to do something, take an action to solve the situation, the problem. An excessive amount of thinking will usually keep you stuck in the problem. And if you find that you are thinking the same things over and over again and not taking any action or a solution, then that's the clue that you are overthinking something. How to stop overthinking? Well, you will need to notice the what if questions and answer to them. People that overthink things, they often come up with what if questions, but they don't answer to them. They are stuck with the feeling of fear and they don't focus on solving the problem, the worry. For example, if you are feeling anxious about an interview, a presentation, and you have thoughts like, what if I mess up? What if I mess up my words in my interview today? Here are some possible answers your mind might bring you. Other people could laugh. Other people might empathize with you. Some people will not even notice that you mess up your words. So by answering to what if questions, you start to focus on solutions. For example, if somebody does laugh, you can decide how to deal with them laughing. And because you have a plan, you are prepared, you will feel calmer. That's it for today's video. I will see you in another video. If you like this video, give a like and share it.